Good evening, Legionnaires. This is your horror host, Mr. Hare here from the Burke and Hare House of Horrors team. If you've not done so before, please hit that like and subscribe button for regular content of horror movie reviews and ghostly goings on in our ghost hunts. And tonight's movie review is none other than the film Freaky, directed by Christopher Langton, starring Catherine Newton and Vince Vaughn. Well, what can I say about Freaky? Apart from, I loved it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. This clever twist on the Freaky Friday concept where, in the Freaky Friday movie where basically a mother and daughter swap bodies. In this movie, a serial killer and his potential victim swap bodies. And again, it's played for fun. It's a great horror comedy, a great physical comedy, great gore, and it actually did genuinely surprise me of how good it actually was. I mean, when I first heard of it, Freaky, the trailers was hyped quite a lot in my cinemas. It was quite hyped a lot. The song kind of stuck with me in my head, sadly. You're on the way back from driving from work going, the song Freaky, and you're like, oh. And unfortunately, COVID hit, and the movie was pushed back. It was pushed back a year. I know in America it's been out for quite a while, I believe, whereas in UK it's only been recently released. And again, I watched it last night, and both myself and Mr. Burke, we loved the movie. It was a brilliant movie, really good. There's some great kills. I've noticed a lot of nods, winks in the marges to classic slasher movies in the past. I noticed nods to one particular scene. The Blissfield butcher impales a woman, and he does this head tilt, and they're going, Halloween, Michael Myers. There was like to Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees. There was Scream. There was Texas Chainsaw. And you know what? Catherine Newton. I've not really seen her before in many movies. I don't know if this is one of her first roles. I might be wrong, but she was brilliant in the role. I think she played the psychopath fantastically. What I loved about it, in the start of this movie, she's quite this reclusive, almost like a Laurie Strode kind of figure, in the first 1978 Halloween, she's quite nerdy, she's very, withdrawn. And of course, when she gets her body taken over, it's just subtle differences that kind of says that it's definitely someone else, the confidence, even a walk, and she's actually a fantastically sinister killer. Vince Vaughn, I'm not going to lie, I was a bit uncertain about his casting, don't get me wrong, I think we've all seen the Psycho remake where he plays Norman Bates, and it were bad. And I'm talking really bad, but that's a review for another day, and I'm going to need a lot of drink to get through that one. But for this one, Vince Vaughn, he's absolutely brilliant in this role. He can capture the Blissfield butcher, but also at the same time when he's playing, they're playing Millie. She's in his body, and he's got like that, her mannerisms, the physical comedy, the cast chemistry. It was absolutely brilliant how it actually. And after this time I watched it, I was actually laughing my head off at it. Like there's one particular scene where, Millie, she's got a crush on a lad called Booker. I think it's played by Uriah. I can't remember his second name. I'm gonna kick myself at the end of this. And literally, as he's talking to him, I can actually generally feel the chemistry and how them two kept a straight face while doing it. I don't know, because it was generally a funny horror comedy. It's kind of interesting because, sometimes with horror comedies, there's horror, and they've got the comedy, and sometimes they don't always gel. It kind of feels a bit forced, and sometimes it doesn't really feel as natural. Whereas in this movie, it felt completely natural. It did remind me similar to Happy Death Day. I've heard rumours that these two might be set in the same universe. Again, I don't know, I don't really see the need for that, but I love the concept. Now, I kind of hope they don't do any more sequels to this, because personally, I think it's a fresh concept. And again, I don't want them to make any sequels to this, because I think if you kind of like overdo the concept, it's kind of going to get stale pretty fast. But I think other than that, Freaky is definitely one I'd recommend to people to watch. If you wanted a fantastically funny movie, a great horror film, a great comedy at the same time, Freaky's the film for you. I kind of discussed me and Mr. Burke were discussing what score would give out of 10. I mean, I'd say, I think you can agree as well, it's definitely looking like an 8 out of 10. It's fantastic, it's fun, it's got some great kills, it's got some great comedy, it's got great chemistry, it's kind of like, it's progressive. It's not like obnoxiously woke, or like something similar to like what The Craft Legacy, where it was kind of presented with this like toxic masculine that all toxic males and all males are toxic, or the recent rendition of the Black Christmas remake, which luckily I've not seen, but I know Mr. Burke has, and he personally went to look for a lobotomy after. But hey ho. This one, I kind of like the fact is there is empowerment in there, but it's not done to the point of this obnoxiousness. It's kind of done like, natural to realise that she's got her own mental strength in there. It's like learning that strength is not just about chucking people across the room. It's kind of like that strength and determination. And for that reason alone, it's great character development in this movie. And I'm still sticking with an 8 out of 10. So if you've not done so before, watch this film. And please hit that like and subscribe. Stay spooky. Goodbye.